In this video, I'm going to share 3 simple sources I use to find the people who need my offer. Before we dive into it, let me give you an overview of the system I use to make $500 to $2,500 commissions without funnels, paid ads, or a big following, which I call the 6-figure freedom operating system, and you see it on your screen right now. If you want my personal help to install this system in your business, there is a link below with the details of my 6-figure freedom accelerator. If you are on Facebook, it's in the comments. If you are on YouTube, it's in the description. Okay? So you see the 6-figure freedom operating system on your screen, and I'm going to give you an overview right now. It has 3 phases. The first phase is unlimited free traffic. The second phase is buyer activation engine, and the third phase is techless conversion. In the first phase, unlimited free traffic, we get 10 to 15 new perfectly targeted leads every single day in only 45 minutes. And we do this by first looking at your offer and engineering your ideal customer. And this is a very important step, because if you don't know who your ideal customer is, it's hard for you to find the right people. Okay? After you engineer your ideal customer, we tap into Facebook's database of 3 billion users, and we go to the sources where your ideal customers are hanging out. And when we go to the sources, we start bringing them to your following. So you start getting these perfectly targeted leads. Okay, so this is the first phase. First, we look at your offer and engineer your ideal customer. Then we go to the sources on Facebook where they are hanging out, and then we bring them to your following so you get these perfectly targeted leads. As you start getting these perfectly targeted leads, we enter the second phase, which is the buyer activation engine. In this phase, we generate ready to buy leads with just 1 post per day. And to do that, we share written posts and 5 to 10 minute videos with the goal of generating ready to buy leads. What is a ready to buy lead? A ready to buy lead is someone who raises their hand and says, I want to learn more about what you have to offer. And this can happen by them commenting on your posts directly, or them reaching out to you saying they want to learn more. Okay, that's the second phase. We make 1 post per day, which can be a written post or a 5 to 10 minute video, and we generate ready to buy leads. As you start generating these ready to buy leads, we enter the third phase, which is the techless conversion. In this phase, we convert leads into $500 to $2,500 commissions in 5 messages. Okay, and for that we use Messenger. Okay, so you generate a ready to buy lead from your content, and we initiate a conversation with that lead. We send 5 messages, and then we put your offer in front of them, and then if they buy, you make a commission. That's the third phase. You generate ready to buy lead from your content, initiate conversation, send 5 messages, put your offer in front of them. If they buy, you make a commission. Okay, so this is the 6-figure freedom operating system. It's the exact system I use to make $500 to $2,500 commissions without funnels, paid ads, or a big following. And right now we are going to dive deeper into this first phase, the unlimited free traffic, okay? Into these sources I use to find the people who need my offer. I'm going to share with you 3 simple sources I use here on Facebook to find the people who need my offer. And for me to share that with you, I'm going to share a document right now, okay? So the 3 simple sources I use to find the people who need my offer. The key to pinpointing where the people who need your offer are hanging out is engineering your ideal customer, as I explained a couple of minutes ago, okay? If you don't know who your ideal customer is, it's hard for you to find the right people. And this is a step most affiliates skip, okay? I've talked with a lot of affiliates, and a lot of them skip this step, okay? So this is one of the most important steps in your business, is engineering your ideal customer. To do that, look at your offer and identify the problems it solves and the results it helps people achieve. With that information, with the problems it solves and the results it helps people achieve, build the profile of the person who needs that offer, okay? And there are a few things to think about. Here are some examples. How they are feeling right now, what their current problems are, what they have tried to fix those problems, what their dreams are, okay? So it's looking at your offer to identify the problems it solves and the results it helps people achieve, and then building out this profile for the person who needs that offer. That's your ideal customer, okay? With your ideal customer in hand, you can pinpoint where they are hanging out and tap into Facebook's database of 3 billion users, okay? Now let's dive into the 3 simple sources I use to find my ideal customers on Facebook, okay? The first source is groups, okay? I find groups where they hang out by searching keywords related to my ideal customer. So with my ideal customer, I can identify what keywords they are searching on Facebook to find groups, okay? Here's an example of a group, okay? So I use these keywords that they are searching on Facebook to find groups. I go to those groups and I start bringing them to my following. That's the first source, groups. The second source is fun pages, okay? I find fun pages that my ideal customers follow by searching for influencers in my niche, okay? Again, with my ideal customer, I can identify what influencers they are following on Facebook. And then I go to Facebook and I start searching for those influencers and I find their fun pages. Here's an example of a fun page of an influencer in the affiliate marketing space, okay? So it's searching for these influencers that they follow, going to their pages, and then we can use those pages to bring our ideal customers to our following. That's the second source, fun pages. The third source is other people's ads. I scroll through my feed and I find ads that speak to my ideal customer, okay? And I have here an example of an ad. So when you are scrolling on your feed, when you see a post with the word sponsored at the top, this is an ad, okay? Someone is paying Facebook to show this post to you. It's an ad, okay? So it's scrolling through your feed and finding ads that speak to your ideal customer. So this requires that you read the ad so you see if it speaks to your ideal customer or not, because if it doesn't, you'll not find your ideal customers, okay? So it's scrolling and finding ads, so ads posts with the word sponsored that speak to your ideal customer, and then when you find an ad like this, you can use that ad to bring your ideal customers to your following. That's the third source, other people's ads, okay? So to recap the 3 sources, first one, groups, second one, fun pages, third one, other people's ads, okay? If you'd like to get my AI tool to analyze your offer, precisely engineer your ideal customer, and pinpoint exactly where to find them, plus my help getting 10 to 15 new perfectly targeted leads every single day in only 45 minutes from these sources I just shared, there's a link below with the details of my 6-figure freedom accelerator. If you are on Facebook, it's in the comments. If you are on YouTube, it's in the description. Okay? That's it for this one.